So our final piece this evening is a piece called Ethnic Songs of Hawaii. It includes 4 folk songs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 folk songs. One of them is not necessarily a folk song. It was written by Queen Liliuokalani. It is called the Queen's Prayer. The second one is Mehua Q, which is a Chinese folk song about plum blossoms. They really like their plum blossoms there. There's lots of songs about it. So it represents life and happiness and joy and the meaning of their existence. And the paintings they have of the plum blossoms are quite beautiful. We have a Japanese song called Hamabe no Uta, which is Song of the Beach. And then, finally, a Filipino song called Planting Rice is No Fun. Excuse me, is never fun. So you might be wondering, ethnic songs of Hawaii, there's a lot more diverse populations here than just those 4 categories. But this piece was written by Ed Matsushita to be a very musical piece of music, for one, but to be an educational tool for the students about the old plantations. And so each group represents the groups of plantation workers that were most common in the plantations. What I didn't know, and what was awesome when talking to him on Thursday at lunch, was that he has this whole through-line story about what's happening in the piece. It starts with the Queen's Prayer. Now, for those of you who don't know the Queen's Prayer, it was written when Liliuokalani was in prison in Iolani Palace after the annexation. And she wrote this piece with love. As many of you know, she asked her people not to fight back because she was more worried about them getting injured or killed than who ran the country. And so she loved her people that much that she wrote this piece called the Queen's Prayer, praying that her people would be safe and that they wouldn't be injured. So that's the initial thing, but also it's about togetherness, coming together. And so then we move into Mehua Q, which talks about happiness and life and joy. And then that same melody comes back again, slower, representing longing for home, talking about how they miss being back at home instead of working long, hot hours in the sun at the sugar plantations. And then the Japanese song represents the beach, which is a social gathering and where many people would go, and that's where he wanted it to represent the melting pot of Hawaii, where those groups started to come together and started to hang out with each other and started to become what we know and what we love about our home. And then also there's union in pain. So planting rice is never fun. He added that in as a fun tune to represent the hard work that goes into the sugarcane plantations and the work that those people put in to support their families back home. And then finally it ends with another recap of Queen's Prayer, this time as a unified piece of music, adding in planting rice in a very epic fashion to represent that we are together, we are stronger together, and that it was the wish of the Queen that we would be together and love each other. So, I'm very excited to play this piece. No one's played it for a long time. I don't think there's a recording of it anywhere, so you have the pleasure of hearing the first performance in quite a long time. Enjoy.
we'd like to call on the student presenters, please. The 6 of you guys, if you guys can come up.
Mr. Evans, thank you for spending time with us these past few days. Your patience, professionalism, and passion for music are appreciated by all of us. On behalf of the members of the 2019 Maui District High School Mass Band, we would like to thank you for a great past few days getting to know you. Please accept these small tokens of our appreciation. Mr. Howe, on behalf of the members of the 2019 Maui District High School Honor Band, we would like to thank you for taking the time to share your experience and expertise with us. We are truly grateful for our time together and wish you a great end to your school year back home. Please accept this small token of our appreciation.
And with that, we've come to the close, folks. Thank you again, Mr. Howe and Mr. Evans, for sharing your knowledge and expertise with our students. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Parents, please give the students some time as they'll be moving equipment around. On behalf of the directors and all the band students, please have a safe drive home and mahalo. Wait, you guys, wait.